Hello, my good people. This is another nice, healthy dish. So this will be like dinner here for food for your thoughts. Last one I made, it was for the women. This one here is for the young man or men, which is men accountability. Let me start off with the first ingredient of this, which is don't nobody owe you nothing. At the age of 10 on up, you're responsible for your life, meaning you need to know what your purpose or what you would like doing and how you can afford for you to have a good life or go in that direction in life. And I'm not talking about selling for the norms that is placed upon our culture as black young males or black males, which is selling dope, robbing, scanning, using people in life. Or you're reading the football dreams and basketball dreams, you know. No matter what you are good at or have a passion for, or what your purpose is, because one thing as males that we got to understand that we always put on earth to serve others. Every human being is, even women. No matter what your race is, but we always put on earth to service one another or to provide a service, and that service should be something that you're passionate about, something that you love doing, that you would do for free, and it can afford you a comfortable living or at least a good living, but most definitely enriched with happiness and joy with doing it. Now, some of these goals or passions or purposes and habits, because sometimes that's not broken down to us, that habits or hobbies, I should say, not habits but hobbies, are equal as purpose, you know, or your service to society, back to society. And some of these hobbies, passions, or purposes, you know, some people make a good living off of, you know, and you could too if you perfect it to the best of your ability and you have a joy with doing it. Every time you're doing it, you know, people will pay you for certain services. You know, you look around you, that's all it is, whether it's entertainment or sports, singing, hip hop, acting, you know, cleaning someone's house, cooking. These are all services, you know, so always keep that in mind. But, you know, from the age 10 up, you should be on the search for that. You know, that's your responsibility, not your parents. They can assist you or they can help you. You know, but you as an individual, as a man, as a young man at that point, or a young male child, you should be looking for that or trying to find that. You know, which I got another video about when it comes to assisting or help. You know, what I identify with assisting or helping a person, and what that person that is looking for assistance and help, what they should already be applying and doing. Look for that video. That'll be out. Or should I say that dish should be out. Second ingredient. You need to learn what is and how is loving yourself. You know, loving yourself it's like an umbrella. You know, there's many things that's up under there that contributes to loving yourself. One of those things, and there's many, I'm just going to name off some that I think is kind of very valuable to start a a base up under that umbrella, should I say the ground up under that umbrella, and you can build on up, or you can add on to it. You know, you can critique it to whatever fits you as a young man or as a man, period. You know, I don't know everything. I just know some things, and what I know, I had no problem sharing as I supposed to. One of my services. But you know, one of the things is taking care of yourself. If you got hair, you know, on your face, keep it neat, or on your head. Keep it, whether you rocking a long hairstyle, dreads, braids, you got facial hair, you got a full beard, goatee, or whatever. That's your responsibility to keep it clean and keep it neat looking. Brush your teeth every day. You know, carry some mints. So if you know, times when your mouth get a little dry, whether you're talking a lot, or you busy, or you ate something after lunch, onions or garlic or something like that, you know, you always want to carry yourself with class, you know, and showing that you love yourself and care about yourself. You care about how you present yourself, you know. The other thing is, make sure you wash your behind every day. Now, for those of you that is under the age of 18, I can understand, because there's a lot of people out here that is going without, or young men up under the age of 18 that has no control of their environment or where they live at. You know, the adults do. So, you know, I can understand for those that may not be able to control their parents, making sure that it's soap in the house, it's nice hot running water, or any water running. You know, that's out of your control, and your parents should be handling that. You know, they should be damn shame if they're not. You know, but this is also motivation for you as a young man or as a man to never make sure your kids have to go through that. You know, also balance them out and let them know don't nobody owe them nothing. You know, that you do what you do and provide what you provide for them out of the kindness of your heart, because you want them to elevate as they should, as part of your legacy coming from you. But let them know that don't nobody owe nothing. But for those young men or young boys that can't afford that, or that they're in a position where they just gotta adapt and make it through the environment that they're in, I would say this to you. You know, get creative. Look around you. If you can listen to this video now on a device, then that means that you can find a way to be creative and make sure that you get a shower every day, or a bath. You know, me personally, a shower. You know, I don't like sitting in no tub and my dirt is floating around there. I don't care if you got bubble baths in it or not. Yeah, I don't like sitting in my own dirt. So, you know, you can have a membership at a gym or at a rec center. You can have a friend that let you come over and chill with them, play games or whatever. You know, one that don't run their mouth, because that can be embarrassing. You know, your homie that you trust in, you know, want to get mad at you because as a human being you might disappoint him, or you might not be able to look out for him. And with that, he'll take something personal and throw it up in your face. So make sure it's somebody that you can trust, you know, that's really down with you, rocking with you. And, you know, make it happen. You can make it happen. You know, there's multiple ways to make it happen. Even if you join, you know, you gotta take a shower at school because you in, you know, some of the sports. Make it happen, you know. But always try to, if it's in your control, or if you got any way to, always keep yourself clean. Clean your body. Lotion your body, because that's your biggest organ. One of your most important organs is your skin, you know. So you want to protect that as well, if you can afford it. If you're up under the age of 18, or up under the age to where you can't work a job yourself yet, due to the laws that's out here. Now I know some of us, at times we might get a little lazy, on a weekend or something like that, and we might not, take a shower that night or that morning when you get up because you're just laying around sitting up. It's kind of understandable, but if you got all the tools that you need, take advantage of it in a good way. Getting that shower at least once a day, But for those that's just chilling, you don't feel like doing that, okay, just make sure you don't go nowhere, Make sure you sitting in the house all day. You ain't going nowhere. But if you still smell yourself because the night before you either work a job or you was doing some type of activities that cause a lot of perspiration or sweat from you, then yeah, you need to go ahead and hit that shower. Especially if you smell yourself. Should nobody else smell you. If you smell yourself, which we all do, whether it's our breath or our body, we can smell it first. So if you smell it first, then you need to get on that as soon as possible. ASAP. But if you are just chilling in the crib, you ain't got no plans to go nowhere, at least still wash your face, brush your teeth. Get the crud, get the booger out your eye. Get that funk off your tongue. And when you brushing your teeth, you need to floss. It amazes me how I see a lot of black people, women and men in the black community, they always got those side teeth missing. They got the other ones that wrap around, but it's that one on the side, on the right side or on the left side that's missing, and I wonder why. Never really investigated it because it's not that serious, but I just always noticed that with a lot of black folks, they always got that one tooth missing on the side, or a few of them, up top too. It don't be on the bottom all the time, be up top. So with saying that, you want to get some floss your teeth. Most times, and you need to go to the dentist every 6 months, just so you can keep a track and keep up on it. Especially if not talking about nobody because I grew up in the system myself. Your mom is getting government assistance, that's free. You should be at the dentist every 6 months, getting your teeth checked out, making sure they right. Once again, that's part of loving yourself. That's your mouth. And you sure should want to talk to nobody with it on bump. So that's why you gotta brush it, keep them clean, floss, and there's certain type of flosses that you can use that I know I use, where it kind of like goes in between your teeth and you hold it with a little handle, and then you can use that handle and you can scrape that tongue. That's right, you need to scrape that tongue, because that's what holds that bad content of breath. So go ahead and take a scrape at that tongue when you're brushing your teeth and flossing, But if something happened to come up and it's one of those days that you sit in the crib chilling, you really didn't have no plans on going nowhere, you just laying in your own marination of funk or a light funk, something come up, emergency or something like that, at least try to take a quick wash up in the sink, hit the main parts, pits, face, neck, feet, butt crack, private, hit the main functions, at least. But most definitely, if you got time and it's not that severe, it's not emergency like that or severity, then go ahead and jump in the shower. And another thing, when you take a dump, wipe your behind. Depending on your size or how big you are, the butt crack ain't that big, or the butt hole isn't that big, especially if you ain't doing nothing you ain't supposed to be doing with it. Get you 3 squares of toilet paper, fold it, wipe, fold it, wipe, fold it, wipe, and toss it in the toilet. And keep wiping until it's no longer no streaks or no signs of boo-boo or feces on that toilet paper. And for me, myself, type of gentleman that I am, my household, we use flushable wipes. So that cleans up the residue. So it ain't no residue left down there. Or between that skin that's between your sack and your anus hole. Clean yourself thoroughly. Don't walk around here with boo-boo stains in your drawers. Especially if you at a certain age. That's you grown. You 10 on up. That's embarrassing. Clean yourself. Wipe yourself until it's no more. That's the key. Wipe your behind, and if you can afford it, get some flushable wipes and carry them on you, even if you still in elementary or middle school and high school. Carry them in your book bag. When you gotta go take a dump at school, take those flushable wipes with you. Clean yourself. Wipe your behind. That's your responsibility. That's part of loving yourself. It's your body. So yeah, that's another thing about that. And wipe your penis off too. When you urinate, you don't want pee in your drawers, drips, because it happens as males. We can't get everything out the tube by just shaking it. You don't want to shake it too much. So go ahead and get your little square of toilet paper and wipe that off. Get that residual urine off of your out yourself, out your manhood. You don't want that dripping down your leg or soaking it into your boxers or your underclothes. And speaking of boxers, you don't want to be walking around here like a perv either. If you so-called blessed in that area, you want to hold your manhood down. Everybody shouldn't see that flopping around. I don't care what the girls think. I don't care what eyes get big from older women to women your age. Carry yourself with class. Always let it be a mystery to the ladies. Don't show them everything. Let them want to be interested in you. Let their mind wander. That's what they like to do anyway. Women like stories. They like fantasy. So let their mind wander. But if you blessed in that area, know your size. Even when it come down to condoms, don't try to put on something small and it's busting. This is all part of loving yourself. You blessed in that area, strap your wood down, wear some boxer briefs. If you're, in my opinion, if you're old enough and can afford to have sex, and that's later on down in this conversation, what I mean by that, then make sure that you got the right size for yourself. Hopefully a lot of these things has been taught to y'all, young man, or soon to be young man. But if not, I'll be the first one to tell you, because I want you to represent us right. Especially if you're a black male, I want you to represent us right. What I do affects you and put an image off on you, and what you do and carry yourself affects me and put an image off on me. So this is what this is all about, to help y'all be better than me. So y'all don't have to go through all the trials and tribulations of making mistakes and learning the hard way. Learn from some of my mistakes. And with that sink bath, hitting the main parts of your body, that's only a one day thing. You don't do that every day of the week. That's just a 1 day thing. And that was because it was an emergency. You didn't want to be late to work or whatever. Or something came up in the family, Only a 1 day thing. Don't let it expire past that 1 day. When you get back home from whatever event that you need to attend or you had to be at, get in that shower first thing. You don't want to be walking around here and smell like skin breath that smell like dookie, and you smelling like Fritos and sweaty nuts and all that. Nah, carry yourself with class. Love yourself. That's part of loving yourself. Always be presentable to the eyes and to the scent of smell, or a sense of smell, I should say. And those of you that are grown, most definitely you should be in the shower. If you can afford to work, if you can afford to hang out with your friends, you can afford to get drunk or high, you can afford to have sex, then you most definitely can afford to make sure that you have the proper man grooming tools, which is soap or rag. And another thing about the rag, you never wash your face with the same rag you clean your feet, toes, and your behind with. You always have a separate towel or rag for that, which is usually, for me, it's a white rag. You have the dark rag for your body, and then you have a dry towel. So you should have 3 rags if you can afford that. And this is for those that's grown, that can afford drinking, afford the bottles, can afford the Jordans. You can afford, weed or whatever. You should be able to afford a decent, some lotion, some toothpaste, toothbrush, 3 rags or 2 rags, a face one, a body one, and a dry towel. If you can afford to do all those things, you should be able to afford that for sure. No excuse. Now with grooming yourself, especially with hair, like I said before, you got hair on your body, a lot of hair on top of your head, a lot of hair on your face. Keep it nice, neat cut. Or keep it nice and neat, wear it long, or keep it nice and neat and clean. Now, the same go for below the belt. Keep that clean. If anything, you might want to shave it, especially in the summertime, or if you are real active. A lot of oil and grease get down there, and that gathers up a smell, a foul smell, even to your own nostrils, and it shouldn't be nothing normal, So, I would say make sure you showering if you don't get into trimming yourself down there. But if you want to save yourself all that unnecessary funk and gathering of dirt down there, go ahead and invest in some little male trimmers for that area and trim that down. Save yourself, all the unnecessary if you can, but that's at your own will, your own choice, but you just want to be clean, most definitely down below the belt. You want to keep that groomed and clean, just like on the top of your head and your face. You want to keep any hair on your body except the one that's literally on your arms, back and stuff like that, legs. You can't really control all that, but your private area, you want to keep it clean. You want to wash it, you want to keep it clean, or you want to trim it down and still keep it clean. I don't mean trimming it down, mean that you ain't got to keep it clean down there. No, you still wash that, but it saves on a lot of unnecessary heat and oil and stuff like that gathering up down there in your hairs, and keep your face hair together, keep it shaved, keep it cleaned, and keep it trimmed up. Keep you some clean clothes. Once again, you can afford to sit up and play video games, get high, get drunk, try to hook up and link up with girls, hang out with friends. Then, you got time and energy, and most definitely on some of those things I named off, you most definitely got the money to go buy you to invest and use some soap powder, and even go to the laundromat and wash your clothes. A dirty body with clean clothes is nasty, and a funky body with funky dirty clothes is even nastier. But see, this is still up under the umbrella of loving yourself. How you carry yourself. All these things should stand. I don't care if you're a garbage man. You should still wash your butt every day. You should still wear deodorant. Just because you might pick up trash don't mean you gotta smell like it. You dig? So, clean shoes, clean socks. We run around here, like I said, you can afford all these other things, your time and energy and money on other things. You should most definitely have some clean shoes, some clean socks, some clean drawers, and some clean clothes. You should never be walking around here with no crusty socks. That's disgusting. And for the record, if you living a life where that's what you're doing, and you of age to afford and have these things without a parent providing for you, and you still don't, then you need to get your priorities in order, because obviously you ain't doing something right. You ain't got clean socks, underclothes, shoes. You got your priorities wrong. So you might need to go back up this list here of loving yourself, and if a little bit further up, where don't nobody owe you nothing. It's your responsibility. Nobody else. And another thing, it's a little backtrack. I forgot to mention when it comes to if you can afford it, don't use fluoride toothpaste. Fluoride ingredient, no matter what they will say, the biggest gangsters, and I ain't gonna call out the alphabets on them, but they part of everything that you consume, from toothpaste to food. No matter what they may say, fluoride is not good for your body, just like margarine versus butter. It's not good for your body. Margarine is not. Butter is still not good. It can be high in fats and things like that, but your body can digest it much better. And I would say you can go to a plant-based type of butter, which your body can digest even more better. But see, this all comes up under the umbrella of knowing yourself, loving yourself, and taking that small device that you use to film things and take pictures of stuff or listen to music or whatever. That's a tool. So like I said, if you can listen to me right now, then you got all access, and there's other men out here on YouTube that can help give you guidance on being a better man, being a man, because a mommy can only raise you so much to her expectations of what a man should be from her point of view, of a woman's point of view. And I'm not saying that she don't have no good points, or she don't have no good raising, upbringing, or anything like that. But it's just like me being a man. I can only give my daughter a certain limit of expectations that I expect out of her as a man myself. Why? Because I'm not a woman. It takes a woman to raise another woman, and a right woman, just like it takes a man to raise another man, and a right man. One that knows herself, one that knows his position, and one that walks it. Only talk it so much, but walk it. That's another thing that we get into later on. One thing for sure, as a young man, from the age 10 on up, you should be waking up every day. Your feet shouldn't touch the ground, getting up out of bed without having a plan or taking the actions to work towards your goal of bettering yourself. Now, like I said, the body needs rest, the mind needs rest, the soul needs rest. So you're going to have those days. You're going to have that day or so to rest, relax, take a break, let yourself be free for a second, But after that, every day, you should have a plan before your feet hit the ground and start walking. You should be working towards, even if you're still in school. That's cool. Get through school, get your grades up, play your sports or whatever, work your little part-time job, or if you're a grown man, work your full-time job and go to school part-time. but you still should be working towards something else too that's gonna better yourself, you know. And like I said, you got the tool right in the palm of your hand, so it's no excuse, especially nowadays. You know? And with that tool, that means that you should always be on the search of perfecting or working towards your goals or dreams, and most definitely be researching and studying on your health, your financial health, knowledge and awareness of where you at, who you are, what's around you, what's your options. And always remember, you got options, even if it's just two, yes or no. Them are still options. So choose them and use them wisely. And like I said before, if you got time to have sex, and hopefully you doing this when you grown, you got about 10 grand or higher in the bank stacked, like from legal activities, from mental hustle and physical hustle. You got this much in the bank and up, and you ain't touching it because you generating enough money, enough cash flow to where your bills and things or your responsibilities is handled without asking nobody or leeching or using nobody, and you still got that 10 plus stack, you know, still better yourself. But if you ain't rolling like that, you know what I'm saying, and you can make time for sex, you can make time to drink, you know, hang out at the clubs, use your narcotics, you know, play video games, watch sports, you know, hang out with family and friends, then you most definitely got time to learn how to better yourself or find ways to better yourself. And like I said, especially nowadays, when you got everything. When I was a kid growing up, the first computer was one big solid block, you know, with floppy disk drives. You know, it wasn't even internet. It was just a computer, and it was working off of the DOS, you know, command. You know, versus nowadays, you got a computer that can fit in the palm of your hand. That got cameras, recording, all kind of assets. So it's no excuse. Like I said, every day that you wake up, you should be on the grind on how you gonna better yourself. You should be asking the whys for yourself. And you should be applying yourself to get them answered. Like I said, you can have sex, you can drink, you can hang out at the clubs, you can hang out with friends and family, you can watch sports and all these other distractions. And that means you got time to be handling your business and looking how you can better yourself and applying, getting in it physically, putting in that sweat equity to better yourself. Period. No excuse. Another thing which falls up under the umbrella too of loving yourself, be careful with whom you associate yourself with. Make sure that those people that you associate yourself with is on the same level as you, thinking wise as well as action wise, that they're on the same level as you, but they got inspirations and dreams and goals to better themselves. And if possible, hang around people that is at a higher level than you. You know, steel sharpens steel. You know, and most definitely be around people that hold you accountable. And I ain't talking about the false or fake accountability. You know, they laugh and giggle and roll with you when you're doing stupid stuff because you're amusing them or entertaining them. You know, but when you don't do something that they want you to do for them, and you disagree with it, you don't want to do it, and they want to throw up your negatives and what you done. Nah, I ain't talking about those. I'm talking about real friends, real people. You know, they let you know from the get-go, like they see the good in you. You know, so they always keep it a buck with you from the get-go. Anytime you do anything stupid, they might laugh if it's something funny, but you know, after they chuckle a little bit, they're gonna say, man, you know that was wrong. You know, you shouldn't be doing that. That wasn't cool at all. You know, we better than that. Like the key word I said, they say we better than that. You know, we trying to do things, we trying to do this, we trying to do that, you trying to do this, you trying to do that, you can't afford this, man. That's what real ones do. They ain't gonna sit up there and let you make a fool of yourself at your time and your energy and it's their entertainment. Nah, that ain't real ones. You know, and if they see that you ain't listening, that you ain't wanting better for yourself, they still may love you. Well, I ain't gonna say may. If a person truly love you, they always love you. But they may have to separate themselves and love you at a distance. And you can't get mad at them. You gotta get mad at yourself. Because obviously you ain't doing what you supposed to be doing. You know? Like I said, this is part of loving yourself. This is, like I said before, this umbrella. Loving yourself is just the umbrella. It's a lot of things that I might not even be able to name off doing this course meal right here. But I'm gonna give you some of the things that I wish somebody would have gave me and broke down to me, so that you'll have some type of guide to navigate to become that better person than me, or just that better person of you the day before. And that's something else. Men don't compete with another man. It's alright to do it in a friendly little game of basketball, football, or tennis, or whatever you play, video game, whatever. It's alright to do it on a friendly note, have a little fun. But like real life, you don't compete with no other man or no other young man. Only person you compete with is yourself. You do better than the person that you was yesterday. That's the only individual that you compete with is yourself. Remember, young man and older man, accountability. Hold yourself accountable and only mess with ones that walk the same walk and talk the same talk. They hold themselves accountable of their actions and their words. Therefore, they're going to hold you accountable, your action, your words. And don't get in your feelings, you know, which is easy to do for a lot of males nowadays, because a lot of us, including myself, my father was in my life, but he wasn't in my household. So I was raised up under a lot of female energy, and that's very emotional, you know. So as a man, you gotta learn how to think logically. You know, look at what you're gonna do today and what's gonna be the ripple effect in the future. Not just fly off the hinges and get in your emotions and go off and make a split, quick decision. Especially if you're not in that position when you got time where you can think about it and really analyze it. Use that. Take your time, analyze it, and think about it and see what's going to be the longevity of it. And if it ain't going to be beneficial for you, it's going to be more harm to you and others connected to you, that's not a move for you. Now, if it's a situation where you got to do what you got to do, and you got to do what you got to do and then think about it later and still hold yourself accountable and deal with the consequences. So accountability is very important. Have I mastered all these things that I'm laying out? Not all of them, you know, but I'm learning. You know, what I'm learning, I'm sharing with y'all, because no matter what I do, how imperfect or how I haven't mastered it, what I'm stating is still facts and truth. No matter what me or you or anybody else say, think, or do, it's still the truth. And that's what we focus on. That's what I'm focused on, so that y'all can be better individuals. Another thing about loving yourself. Excuse me. Don't allow yourself to do wrong to yourself. Therefore, you're not going to allow anybody else to do wrong to you. You're not going to beat up yourself or abuse yourself. And even if you are doing this, you shouldn't be doing it. Therefore, you still shouldn't be allowing nobody else to do it. You know, be a man of your word, like I spoke about earlier. You know, if you walk around here joking and playing, saying one thing but doing another, people gonna take you as a joke. You know, therefore, they're gonna play you like a joke. They're gonna look at you as a joke, as a joke. And nobody's gonna take you serious. So you gotta walk what you talk, or better yet, just walk it. Walk and believe in, the right things and do them. With anybody that you associate yourself with, or they cool with you, and keep talking about what you're gonna do and what you're about. If it's someone new, then yeah, you might have to bust that down one time to them. But after that, tell them that one time, and then you be about what you believe in and what you said out your mouth. Those that know you and they rock with you and they on the same level with you, 9 times out of 10 they can peep you out, because we all judge and look at people. That's the only way we can determine a person's character. So the person that's really rocking with you, they can peep it out and they see what you about. So you ain't gotta bust it down to them, but sometimes you gotta bust it down to a newcomer. But you only do it once, and then you walk the rest of it. And always remember, you walking it instead of just talking it. You're not proving no points to nobody else. That's for you. You walking and showing, it's for you showing and walking and seeing it for yourself. Once again, you're not competing with nobody else. That's not the goal. You compete with yourself. Therefore, you show yourself. You hold yourself accountable. Period, point blank. Now, this go for the little bit older males that should really be at the age where their parents, mother or father, whoever they was raised by, no matter what the conditions that they was raised in. And I know it's easier said than done, because sometimes as human beings, we all adapt to our environment. We can all wake up, I heard this before, can't really say who the individual was or what the subject was all about, but it stuck with me, the thought of it. We can all wake up one day, we can wake up the next day, and the world can be totally upside down. And the mind is so strong, at the same time it can be so influential, excuse me if I'm not pronouncing it right, or weak in another lame way of saying it. But it's so powerful that we can adapt to that world being upside down and survive and live, So with this, what I'm saying, this is for, like I said, the 18-year-olds that then already graduated from high school or should have a GED or is old enough to work a full-time job. You shouldn't be living at home unless you in college. You done graduated from high school, you got your GED, or you are pursuing your dreams in life. Because there's many billionaires and millionaires that didn't go throughout school. And I understand that. I can respect that, but they still was applying themselves and working towards something, which was their dream, their purpose, their hobby, and they might have still been at home, and I would say you need to be in one of those categories. You just graduated from high school, you're going to school full time, working on a degree or getting a trade, at the same time you should be working a part-time job, because you need to be responsible for yourself. Your parents' job is up, so far as being held accountable for you. At 18 and older, you are totally accountable for yourself. Only time the police is going to come to your parents' door, your mother or father, or just your mother or just your father's door, is to tell you that they got you locked up, and this is the charges that you're facing, and this is the known address that they know for you or got in the system, or to tell you that you're no longer here, and they need your parents to come down and identify you. But at 18, your parents is no longer held responsible of you. So therefore, you shouldn't be living with your parents unless you are in college and working a part-time job. And you should be contributing some way back to the household. Most definitely with some chores and helping out. But your little money that you're making, you should be able to kick in on something. I don't care if it's $50 every 2 weeks. You know, because you're no longer a little kid. Your mama and your daddy don't owe you nothing. If anything, you owe them. True enough, they raised you because you was their responsibility. But I'm gonna tell you something like was told to me by my mother when I was growing up. Some people might look at it as being harsh. For me, I ain't take it to heart like that. You know what I'm saying? It helped me to get a reality check of life. You know, my mama told me when I was little growing up, I don't owe you nothing. I could have left you at the hospital. I could have dropped you off in the trash can. I could have flushed you down the toilet. You know, and that's real talk. You know, some people might look at it as verbal abuse or whatever, but the reality of it, how many times we see it on the news. And I'm not promoting this type of treatment of a child or of a baby. Not at all. Matter of fact, I can't even watch those type of news stories because I get so upset that a parent would do that to a child. You know, and then I can't do nothing to help save that child or could have saved them. So I don't like to watch those news stories, but the reality is still what it is. The truth is still what it is. There's people out here that does that. Wrap babies up in bags and leave them off on the road or drop them off at the fire station, drop them off on people's porches, leave them at the hospital, give them up for adoption. I mean, or just straight up kill them. You know? So, when my mama said that to me, I ain't take it as no abuse. I took it as the truth. You know? Because it is. You know? So, no sympathy here. I don't need that. I like understanding. I don't care for no oohs and ahs. Oh, that's so bad. I'm sorry. Nah. Just have understanding when it comes to me. Because when you got understanding, a lot of things I ain't got to explain. And then you also know where you stand at with me. Or where you need to stand. Even if it's out my way. You know. So just have understanding with me. I don't need no sympathy. But back to what I'm saying, you know, being the age 18 on up, you should be living on your parents. If you're not in school, you shouldn't be showering at the crib. You shouldn't be eating. You shouldn't be laid up. You know, especially when your mom or your dad are both parents, and especially if you're fortunate to have both parents. Yeah, you really shouldn't. No matter what did happen in the household, because ain't nobody perfect, you know, but that ain't no excuse for you still not to want for yourself. But you most definitely shouldn't be doing these things, and you ain't in college or you ain't picking up no skill to try to get you out there in this world, at least by 2021, so you can be a full productive citizen or a full productive person that can even help your parents back out one day. Or just help yourself out. That'd be good enough for most parents. They ain't looking for nothing from you. I mean, you know, they just looking for you to be independent and maintaining. You know, only time you need to come back to them is for guidance to help you navigate through what they already been through. But besides that, you should be handling everything on your own. You 18 and up. You know, but like I said, showering, laying up while they going to work. You know what I'm saying? You come in, you laying up. Or you been out all night kicking in the party and you come in, you laid up. Now, only time you need to be laid up and you staying at your parents' household is because you done worked a third shift job. You know? And if you working a third shift job, that means you still shouldn't be at their crib. You know what I'm saying? Unless you didn't come into some financial hardship. But once again, if you was at the age 10, trying to manifest your destiny, trying to see where you trying to go and what it's going to take to get there in life, then you wouldn't even be in the financial type of financial hardship. You know, because you would have seen what you need to do. You would have researched and applied yourself. You know, but if you do fall on them, because it happens, nobody's perfect. We all need help. Only time you should be laid up when your parents get up and they going off to work hard. You think you supposed to eat off of they hard labor, their fruits? Nah, they done did their job. You made it to 18. Matter of fact, you made it to even being a fetus. You know, and maybe that's something else that young males have to understand. You know, you had plenty of other siblings, brothers and sisters that was ejaculated from out your pop's sack, and they didn't make it through that egg. They wasn't strong enough and they wasn't fast enough. So that right there should let you know how much of a strong individual you are versus a failure, and walking around looking and portraying like a failure. Just you being conceived show you the odds. It was 1,000,000 to 1 or more than 1,000,000, and you was the one that made it. So with that, there's no excuses for you to be, unless you suffer from some type of physical or mental condition that's out of your control. Or, like I said, you didn't fall into hardship financially, but if you was on your business at the age 10 on up, most likely you wouldn't be in this position. But it happens to all of us, because unfortunately a lot of us is not properly educated in the household or at school on how to be financially healthy. You know, so it happens. You know, but you still need to be applying yourself and doing something. But you should never, your parents get up, you should be up and out the door before them, or heading out the door, unless you're working a third shift job. And with coming back home to live, it should be an agreement ahead of time. You know, it should be a limited time on how long you're going to stay there with them. You know, whether it's a half a year, a year and a half should be the max. You know, you shouldn't be there after a year and a half. Especially if you can go out, have sex, hang out, drink, smoke. Nah. You ain't applying yourself good enough. You know. So yeah. If you're 18, you shouldn't be doing none of that. Eating up, laying up, sleeping up, showering up, and they out working hard, and you eating off the fruit of their labor instead of getting out here and planting your seeds of fruit from your labor so you can eat off your own fruit. Nah. That ain't about nothing. That sure ain't no man. That's a little boy in a man's body. There ain't nothing to be proud about either. For those that is out there doing that, cut it out. Get on your business. You know, handle your business. You was here. You made it out of the other ones that didn't. And you're fortunate enough to have parents that took care of you. Be proud of that. Let them know that their hard work and sacrifice was not in vain. You know? And like I said, you living at home for whatever financial reasons, because mental and physical, that's out of your control. You know, that's out of your control. You know, can't hold that against somebody. But even with that, you know, I didn't work at places where, or I just didn't seen it out in shopping. You know, you see people that got Down syndrome or bound to a wheelchair, and they still out trying to work, and they happy. You know, for me it was inspiring, because it's like, how can I complain about my life? You know, yeah, we're gonna have gripes. We ain't gonna always like things. Life hit you unexpectedly. Yeah, we all gonna have that. That's human nature. You gotta blow a little steam and vent, you know. But for the most part, when I see things like that, what can you really say? When you see these people that is mentally or physically challenged, and they still got the endurance and the determination to still want something, and get out here and get something for themselves. You know? Nah, it's no excuse for me. Besides the fact I don't want to. And if I don't want to, that don't mean that my parents should pay the price or be held responsible for me and I'm a grown man. Nah, that's not their fault. That's my fault. And like I said before, the third shift should be from a legal job. Because that's another disrespectful thing, to bring dirt past your parents' house or to past their doorsteps. You know, one of the out of 2 hands full, you know, it might be 10 artists out here nowadays that I can understand they struggle, and I'm not saying that it's not more than that. I just might not have listened to them, or their music may not have made it across my ear yet, for me to relate from a genuine place, not from a wannabe gangster place, you know, but from a real place, real hard times, real sacrifice, real loyalty, you know. So, you know, as like I was stating, one of the dudes that I like and I respect, Yo Gotti, you know, he got a song out off his new album. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but I had listened to it, and on the song he was talking about, you know, basically a dude that's running around the hood causing all kind of chaos and ruckus, slinging dope and doing whatever in the hood to hustle, whatever, but he got his parents or he got his mother dead smack in the middle of it. So with that selfish move right there, you know, he not having no concern, he not hustling for the right reasons, you know, and he got his mom sitting as a sitting duck, you know, and then the heat come back to his house, and it's all because of him, you know, because he ain't have sense enough to be hustling right, moving right, and most definitely moving his mama or his family, his close ones, out the way, but he's steady bringing the dirt back to the crib. Nah, that ain't cool at all. You know, you call yourself a man and you doing that, you obviously is not that. And that's disrespectful to do that to your parents. You know, another thing, because I know I done heard stories of a young man, you know, whether it's to their mother that tried to do the best that they can do. You know, their mother wasn't perfect, or even if they had 2 parents in a household, and you know, the relationship between the parents probably was rocky, or there was some things that went on behind closed doors that affected them, which is understandable from a human standpoint, but that's still no excuse. You can't blame your parents, can't blame your mama because your daddy went there and it wasn't no man to show you how to be this and be that. You got men like me that's trying to tell you. You got other men out here, you know, on these YouTube video network or platform and other platforms that's giving y'all young men guidance because they didn't have, and they had to go through the trials and tribulations of not having. So that, like I said before, that little device in your hand, you got access to so many things. So therefore, it's no excuse for you. You can't point the finger back at your dad or your mom and say, I'm like this because of you. No. It might have affected you, but when you got to a certain age, most definitely at the age of 18, it was your life. It was your responsibility. If you got the mental and physical ability to even identify or walk around or even identify where some of your issues come from, then you got the same ability to help fix yourself. Whether it's listen to some other men on this YouTube platform, or even if it's to seek counseling. You know, you got much help out here, so it's no excuse. It's not your parents' fault. Once you hit 18, it's all on you. Your parents don't owe you nothing. They never owed you anything. But most definitely, they don't owe you nothing past 18. They did their part. Whether they didn't do a good job or they did, like I would tell my kids growing up, I had no problem with you coming talking to me you know, and pointing out, you know, what I might have said or done that was wrong. But when you do come to me and talk to me about it, you better be doing better. Because if you ain't doing no better, then what's your point? You know, don't ever talk about, you know, as young men or men, don't ever sit back and try to talk about somebody and hold somebody to something and have an excuse to always hold to them about what they didn't do and how they mistreated or they made you feel whatever, but you turn around and your life is worse off. How dare you? Nah, that ain't gonna work either. You check yourself, hold yourself accountable, hold yourself responsible, handle your business. It's your life. And like I done stated so many times before, don't nobody owe you a thing. But guess what? We all owe life. We all owe life. Life don't owe us. We owe life. We got a purpose while we're here. And that's to serve. Find your passion, find your purpose, find your hobby, and make something out of it. And serve. And if you are living at home at 18 and up, you should be stacking your money. You should be working towards getting a better job or getting a skill that can pay you more. You should be taking on one or two of the bills around the house, and you still need to contribute some type of form of rent. Especially if you can drink, smoke, hang out, fuck, whatever else. Or have sex. Yeah, you need to be coming up off of those things. And you need to have a deadline of when you're going to remove yourself from your parents' house. Because why? You're grown. They don't owe you nothing. You are responsible for yourself. By law, you are. Not just within the household, but by law. You are responsible for yourself. And you should be helping out with something around there. You should be doing some chores, taking out some trash, doing some Saturday cleaning, helping repair. You know, if your parents is fortunate enough to have a house, grass should be cut. You should be contributing all the way around. You shouldn't be a burden no more. You know, and that's on top of the bill paying, contributing to rent. You got chores too. You know, and for whatever reasons you still want to hold things against your parents, whether you feel like they didn't do you right or raise you right, go seek counseling. Use your phone, seek counseling. You can buy a pair of Jordans. You can buy you a couple of counseling sessions. So, the other thing is, watch who you have sex with. You gotta be careful with that, especially nowadays with all these diseases, and you know, you don't know what people choose to dabble with behind closed doors so far as genders and things like that. And I'm not knocking it. I'm not down nobody. I'm nothing like that. That's your choice. That's your life. But be responsible and hold yourself accountable about it. You know, but especially for you young men that's you know, looking to have kids one day, I tell anybody young, wait till you get in your 30s, man. You know, because this is part of loving yourself too. You need to first know how to love yourself for you to be able to love another person that comes from you, and most definitely love your partner or your mate that you had this child with. Secondly, you need to have your money up, because a child or a woman, they cost in more than one way. You know, some cats run around here complaining all day about child support. You know, and yeah, I'm quite sure, you know, the system can be mean to you if you didn't volunteer and go down there and you know, man up to your responsibility. You know, it would be nice if you ain't got to do that. You and the mother can work it out. But that goes back with watching who you lay down with and have sex with, watching who you plant your seeds with. You know, it can make your life easier, it can make your life harder, and it makes it even harder on the child. You can see this child's gonna be caught up between two different worlds. confuse half his life, instead of start being able to think for himself and see things for himself and put the pieces of the puzzle together for himself. But during that time, that child suffering the most. Yeah, you as a man if you're about your business or trying to be about your business, yeah, it's gonna mess with you too, because you made up with the wrong one and you tied down with it for 18 years. Like I said before, the diseases too out here. You gotta be careful about that. But like I said, the one that gets hurt the most is that child. But my whole point of telling anybody, young man or woman, young woman or young man, to wait till you in your 30s to have kids, because like I said, you gotta learn how to love yourself, and that comes with a lot, even cleaning your own behind. If a person don't know how to clean themselves and keep themselves clean, how they gonna know how to take care of a baby and clean a baby properly? Other things in life, you need to get your finances in order. You need to have your career in order. So by the time that child comes, not only are you financially able to afford a child, but you also got the mental ability as well as the maturity to have a plan or some type of path that you want that child to go down. And with having your finances in order, that means you can provide that child with the proper care that it needs, the proper environment to be raised in, the proper schools, the proper activities that can help bring out or let that kid be exposed to their purpose in life while they're here, or just give them multiple options in life that can help them navigate through life and take your legacy to another level. So, and you done got all your selfishness out your way. You ain't got to party, you ain't got to hang out, you ain't got to do all the things that you want to do, So now you can focus your energy on giving that child the proper attention and the proper care that it needs. So like I said, aged in your 30s, yeah. And I wish, now I know this is a far-fetched, falsehood of reality nowadays, but I still tell people, I tell my daughter, I tell anybody young, I think the coolest ones, that's why you young, the coolest people is the ones that's virgins. Young men and young women, because that shows a lot of self determination and strength, to really hold something like that precious and make sure that you you give that to someone that is worthy of that. And I would say too, you have when you hold out as much as you can with having sex, that's when you get to find your purpose. And I tell anybody young, whether it's a male or a female, fall in love with your purpose first, because as human beings, we're gonna disappoint each other. We're gonna say and we're gonna do things that's very disappointing. But if you didn't fall in love with your gift, your purpose, that's gonna be your first love. So when your second love, which is the opposite, your mate or whoever you're in a relationship with, and they disappoint you at times, as they gonna do, you always got your first love to fall back on. And that first love most likely is gonna be that love that can provide a good financial, comfortable life for yourself. It gives you joy to do it. So that's another level of happiness, and it helps you get over it, because sometimes with us males, when we haven't learned how to fall in love with our purpose or our hobbies that's positive in life, when we fall in love with that woman first or that young girl first, and she hurt us, she disappointed us because she's human. And 9 times out of 10, the environment that I was raised in, we all a product of our environment. So they probably, the young girl wasn't probably educated properly on how to carry herself. How she should be, how she should appreciate a good man. You know, she's probably taught to get what you can out of that man. You know, don't let him use you. You use him first type of mentality. You know, due to what they mama then went through and the hurt and pain that their mama chose to go through with the man that she chose to be with, but she passed this philosophy off to her daughter, and that's the mentality of her daughter. So she's not properly educated on how to love herself. You know what she need to be doing. So yeah, you know, take your time with that. Wait till you get in your 30s, start building a family. You know, get all your selfishness out of the way, get your money right, get your career or your own business on track like you want to. And then you can afford to have a life for yourself. You ain't got to battle back and forth internally with still wanting to do you, but you got to be a parent. You know, you just save yourself a lot of headaches. And like I was saying, at that time, you didn't learn how to, you know, navigate in life. You know who you are, what you want, what type of person that you want, what type of woman you want. You know what I'm saying? And be able to see it from afar before you get, you know, wrapped up in marriage and having a kid with them. You know, because that's a hard thing. You want to be able to, you know, you out here, your 20s, or you've been wasting your time in your 20s not applying yourself from age 10 to navigate and get where you want to be in life. So here you are in your 20s with kids, trying to provide them financially, but since you're not established that well, then you know, you can't even be at some of the, you might be able to pay for some of the events, but you can't even be at some of their school events or special moments in their life. You know, even just for some of them, you know, let alone if you can be there for any of them, but just for some of them, just to show them an environment of being supportive, you know, is about, which is very important, you know. Yeah, it's a lot to embody and understand when it comes to being a man and loving yourself, you know. You know, and it's and then even with that, it takes hard work to be in a relationship. You know, a lot of people nowadays, they want this, I call it the microwave instant love or relationship. You know, that's not real. It takes time and it takes work, you know. But, you know, when you got in your 30s, you know, you understand what it takes. You understand in life, anything worthwhile takes time, it takes work, you know. So, yeah, I tell anybody, young woman or young woman, young man, learn how to love yourself, take care of yourself, get your money right, get your mind right, you know, find what your purpose is, start fulfilling it and living it, and wait till you get in your 30s before you have kids, especially for my culture, the black culture. You know, ain't no rushing it, it'll be here, you know, as well as the responsibilities of it. And like I said, you gotta choose wisely. That's why you gotta be a wise man. Take your time, because you have a child by a woman that's really not on your level, that don't see your vision, that ain't got no vision or goals for herself to achieve and be better every day. It's gonna be a very hard life for you. You know, a lot of unnecessary stress. Say the child is torn between two different styles or sides of people, you know, and like I said, that child hurt the most, you know. Another thing is don't sleep with young ladies that's easy to sleep with, and then turn around and call her a hoe or a bitch, you know. No matter how old you are, whether you're a young man to an older man, you know what you was getting yourself involved with. You knew that she was an easy target, you know. that mean you easy and you weak too. You know, if she a bitch, you a bitch. She a hoe, you a hoe. You slept with her. You lay down with her. And you knew it. You know? So why even, you know, it's like, it kills me because I done seen it so much. You know, how, you know, many men have done this. They get mad at a woman, or, you know, even if they catch something from a woman, a disease, or they want to dog them out and talk about them. You know, they want to call them out their name and all that. It's like, you the same as her. You know, it's just like smoking crack with somebody, and then you get mad at them, and then you call them a crackhead because you mad at them, but you smoke crack with them. No, you both crackheads. If they won, you won. Y'all smoke together. Like, cut it out. You know? So as young man, don't be that type of dude. You know? If you don't want that mark on you, you don't want that ding against your character armor, then don't lay down with it. Don't get yourself involved with those type of women. No matter how horny you are, you better go flag the dolphin or do whatever you got to do to get through. You know, go push some weights up or whatever. But choose wisely. No, did I master it growing up? No. That's why I can tell you this. You know, so y'all can do better, make better decisions. You know, some people like to always throw stuff back up in people's face. How you gonna tell me this? And you did this, you did that. That's the whole reason why I can tell you, because I've been there and I've done it, and I'm trying to help you avoid it. You know, your teacher can't be a teacher at school if they never was a student and had to go through all the levels of school and education and make the trials and tribulations and mistakes. So, you know, just take heed. Pull the meat from the bone, leave the bone. And one more thing that I didn't heard different conversations around me or whatnot, you know, is y'all, and this is for the grown men, you know, you got a girlfriend, you got a wife, and she's bisexual. She like women too, just like you do. You know, or she like to engage with them behind closed doors in a grown folks type of situation, and you men still go out here and cheat. Like, maybe it's something missing from some of the stories, but I know it's three sides of the stories. The one person's, the other person's, you put them together, there's go the whole truth and the third side of it. So I get that. But I've been hearing it too much from different situations, different people, and I don't know them. But, you know, like I said, just out and about, living my life, working, whatever, and people talking, I'm listening. And I you know, I try not to, you know, get too involved with it with my reaction, but I had to say I don't understand this phenomenon, you know, that's going on with y'all young men out here, and these young women that y'all got that's down for some of the things that you prefer to sneak off and do. You know, stop it. Like, that's a waste of time and energy. You know, you got a woman, she rocks with you, she loyal to you, she down with you. And she down with doing that with you too. She down with sharing another woman with you. What are you cheating for? Like, that's Bonnie and Clyde. That's like, you call yourself gangster or hard or hood or whatever. Like, that's the most realest situation that can save you so much time and energy, and in some situations, money, that you ain't gotta go through all that. Cause your woman is riding with you. She down with you. She like what you like. Y'all do what y'all do together, grown folk style. And if there's any beef or any issues, y'all both on the same team. You know, like I said, that's one thing. I know it's kind of off the subject, and I'll do a part two of, you know, for the young men or men, you know. But that is something that I've been hearing, and I just, you know, I can't understand. But I'll do a part two of men holding themselves accountable, or man accountability. But yeah, with this one, I don't want to make it too long. I'm already going on an hour and a half. Sheesh. But yeah, us men, we gotta get this together, man. We gotta choose a battle. Excuse me. Yeah, we gotta choose a battle here. Like, you got a woman that's down for that, and you still cheating around. Like, come on. Do you know how much time and energy and money you could be saving doing something else that can be a benefit to your life, you and your woman's life? And you got a woman that's down with that. She riding out with you with it. She loyal to you. She like what you like. And y'all can do what y'all do, and then, hey, peace, see you later. Come on, you still got the energy. The only thing I can add that up to is just, you know, it's kind of a default or a defect or a default of those type of young men. Y'all must like drama. You know, the excitement of cheating, creeping, and lying, and hiding and all that, you know. I guess it's like y'all's on little James Bond adventure or something, you know. And like I said, I can't do nothing but equate that to being raised by a mother or a mother's influence, you know, because women like stories, they like drama, you know. That's in a woman's DNA, even how they're developed from going through puberty to a grown woman. That's traumatic. That's dramatic, you know. So women like drama. There's three types of women. They either like the drama up in their face. I mean, they like the hard head boys. They like the tough boys, the hood boys. Or they like it at a distance, reading things that has drama in it, watching shows that got drama in it. Then the third one likes both. She gotta have it in her face, and she gotta watch it on TV. You know. So, with you young men out here, or older men, they got a woman that's down with you. She love you. She loyal to you. You know, ain't nobody perfect. She ain't perfect. You're not perfect. But she rock with you in that area. Why in the hell are you still cheating? It don't make sense. It don't make sense. And if you are a man that's with a woman that's bisexual, and you're not down with that, then just leave her alone. You know? Just leave her alone. If you ain't down with that, you know, or see if you have a split household, or, you know, work something out. But if you can't, leave her alone. You know, another thing, before I finish off this dish, is the other type of male that like having multiple women, had no problem expressing it and saying it, but then they don't like for either one of the women to be bisexual, but they still like to have multiple women. Once again, pick a battle here, bruh. Pick a battle and a side here. You gonna have one or the other, man. You know? And if you got a woman, you got multiple women out here, and you got a couple of them that's down with men, that like men and women, but you don't like women on women type of action, what do you want, man? Either you gonna be a one woman man that get down with one woman that like only nothing but men, or you gonna have a woman that you love that's down with you, you down with her, and y'all have fun with these other women. Like, pick a side here, bruh. But we both situations, both of y'all stop wasting y'all's time, and this applies to any of y'all males out there, any men out there that's grown, that is thinking and living this way. Stop it. Pick a side, pick a battle, but stop playing. Stop playing. So that's my rant on that. And like I said, it'll be a part 2 when I see some other things that I feel that young men or young males or older men or us, any of us males from age 10 on up, need to hold each other accountable of, or we need to be sharpened with. I'll jot some things down and we'll have a part 2 of this dish here. But for right now, I think this is a very good full course meal. Enjoy. Understand ain't nobody perfect. Not me, not you. But hopefully I've been able to deliver a dish for food for your thoughts on a critical thinking level that can help you elevate or help you better yourself or better who you were from yesterday. And with that out, this is your host, Deep Sea, Deep Thoughts, or a student for life. And I'm out. Peace.